Imagine world's largest democracy, India, goes to the polls not once but multiple times. 10,000 crores, more than 10,000 crores, spent on elections every year. Governance of the state always disrupts. Political machinery is always in the election mode. If you win at the center, you should be campaigning for the local elections. You should be campaigning for the state elections. This is the major problem conducting election many times in India at different levels. But what if there is another way? Can India hold one nation, one election? Is it a new concept? No. South Africa, Sweden, many other nations following the same concept from the last few decades. People who support the government of the day call it a change in course of Indian elections. Critics warn threat to the federalism in India, centralization of power, and the essence of Indian democracy will be lost if the one nation, one election bill is passed. Today, in the bigger picture, we are going to dissect this particular topic: one nation, one election, a game changer or a threat to democracy. India, as a parliamentary democracy, holds elections at multiple levels. At national level for the parliament, at state level for assemblies, at local level for local bodies. These are not synchronized elections. So whenever the state government term ends, we have to go for the elections at different parts of the year. Interestingly, when the first election started, every state used to have a simultaneous election. But later, due to many problems like government breakdowns, resignations, and many more problems at the state levels, gradually the cycle of elections in states have moved far apart. These constant elections in India throughout the year have many big consequences for it. Massive expenditure on the elections. As I told you before, around 12,000 crores of rupees can be saved if we go for one nation, one election program. As we have known about why there is a significant difference between the cycle of elections in states, as per the proponents, the one nation, one election is a much needed reform as of now for India. As per the time, we have to evolve. The most cited advantage is reducing the expenditure of the elections. Not only it reduces the expenditure, but also we have many other advantages of going for one nation, one election. There will be no repeated campaigns. MLAs, MPs who are elected can concentrate on their work instead of going and campaigning for the local body elections, for the state elections, and many more things. This expenditure can also be used for other welfare programs. If the government is always in the campaign mode, then there might be government paralysis. There will be delay in the policy formation. Simultaneous elections could allow governments to focus on the governance for longer periods, leading to more effective policy implementation and long-term planning. Some people argue that voter fatigue is one of the major concepts for the lower voter turnout. Synchronized elections can potentially increase the people who are voting on the election day. One nation, one election program also have some kind of disadvantages which are raised by critics, and it is becoming a debate in the social media right now. Basically, the first problem is at the state level, so people tend to ignore the state problems or the people who fought for them at the state level. So all the state parties are afraid of one nation, one election just because the national party gets all the fame. So if you are a national party member, then you might get automatically some kind of an advantage which is flaw at its core for Indian elections. The national parties will have more budget and more reach to the audience. So national parties can dominate the state parties during the campaigns also. So simultaneous elections have this big disadvantage, as we know that India has a big logistical problem. implementing elections with EVMs all over the India by reaching the every rural village is very much difficult when compared to implementing elections in individual state at different points of time.
CPMLA Pinali Ramakrishna Reddy allegedly breaking an EVM machine went viral on social media.
And also the whole India will be in the election mode for that particular day, which is also dangerous, and there can be formation of potential threats on that particular day. Considering these to be some of the disadvantages for one nation, one election program, Indian democracy. This is one of the debatable term at the international level. Basically, democracy itself is the word which is defined differently by multiple nations. The democracy of America is completely different from the democracy of India. So India has a democracy of itself, as the socialism of India is different from socialism of Russia. This one nation, one election raises a bigger concern to the term itself, Indian democracy. People usually vote for people whoever fought for them. One nation, one election come into the picture, the national issues will be highlighted compared to the state and local body issues. The weight of the elections will be very much reduced, and only the national issues will be concentrated or hyped up. And the consensus or the implementation is also very difficult for one nation, one election. Just because we pass a bill with the major majority should not be the consideration. The change in the election code will give legislative more power on the executive, and legislative is getting into the constitution. And this particular election code, I feel that should be added to the basic structure doctrine of the Indian constitution. These are some unseen consequences and solutions for the problem one nation, one election. So one nation, one election is a game changer or a threat? Well, it depends on who is playing the game. Efficiency and cost savings sound great on paper, but democracy isn't about only efficiency. It is about diverse opinions. It is about representation. It is the hold of power and holding power accountable at all levels. Maybe less election fatigue also means less democratic energy. Just a thought. The debate around one nation, one election, I have gathered every possible source, and I am making a concentrated video like this. I hope you got an advantage from this video. Definitely your subscription and like to the video will be appreciated. Scroll down and comment your thoughts on one nation, one election. What are the possibilities? Thank you so much for watching. This is the episode for today. Signing off. Until next video, Rohit Sharma.